BBC Hooniverse.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Rambling, the show where anything could happen and I can literally ramble on for however long I deem the topic is fit for. Again, this is going to be a solo episode where there's only one topic instead of being 2, 3, 4 and 5. And today we're going to talk about... Let's just I'll tell you what the title is. Let's see if in the first few sentences can you guess what I'm talking about. We're talking about the fact that if it returns, could this be it? Is blank it? Or how many times has that happened? Have a guess. Oh, did you guess correctly? Well, let's find out. Is James Bond a Time Lord? No, it's just different people happen to be James Bond by accident. And will River Song return? If I can say the words. Or is River Song the Time Lord, James Bond? Ooh. So, in this, we're talking about, haha, I got ya, River Song, not James Bond. That was a decoy. Woo! So, let's talk about River Song. River Song is returning to our screens, Alex Kingston, that is, on Strictly Come Dancing 2026. So, that's good. My debate is that I think River Song should return. She's got more potential. Now that we've had the audio stuff from it, more potential to connect with the current Doctor. The last time we saw River Song was in The Husband of River Song, where she met Peter Capaldi's Doctor for the first time and for the last time. So it's been 3 Doctors since she last saw the Doctor. So she didn't meet 14, she didn't meet 13, and she hasn't met 15, and she might not met 16. I don't know. We all know that her timetable, her timeline is a little bit all over the shop because she met the Doctor in different orders. Whether or not River Song knew that the Doctor was going to turn into a female, that is not for us to decide, because at the end of the day, it's up to the writer to decide whether or not that is the case or not. Sorry if I keep leaning. And you have to sort of then decide, right, so we don't really know for definite the situation at hand. But what we do know is part of it. I personally think that's fine. If you only know part of the situation at hand, it just means that you know only half of what's going on. Now, just before we go any further, the reason why I've got the box in my hand for the recorder is so I can make sure that the level is recording fine, but I keep on leaning, and I don't know why I keep on leaning. So I need to not lean, but I need to make sure that we're still recording in the same volume, audio, and whatnot. So, I don't have to keep on looking down either, because that's not great for the shot, is it? No, that's not great for the shot. So I think that River Song really, even though she's only regenerated twice on screen, from a little girl to the big girl to now where she is, it proves that if you're if you're in the TARDIS and you get pregnant, it's gonna have regeneration powers, which is odd, right? It's odd because that isn't how regeneration works. Because now we know the Doctor at the time was child. I don't think there's regeneration energy just hanging in the TARDIS. So now that we have the Unearth, the Timeless Child story arc and the whole pre-Hartnell, the whole John Martin shenanigans, it makes Riversong slightly more of a complicated character because we now don't know how Riversong got regeneration powers. We don't know how all that came from because now that we know who the Doctor is, the Time Lords didn't have regeneration. So how did she regenerate without getting? Because she didn't do anything with the Doctor. She might have kissed the Doctor once, but not as a child. So I'm slightly confused on how Riversong became the Time Lord, how she got the regeneration powers from the information we now know. At the time, when it batted that eyelid. But now, because it's been a while since the Time was shown, we've had time to work out what on earth is going on a little bit more, and that helps to add to the confusion in my opinion. Sorry about that. I thought I had a crease. I thought my t-shirt creased. I do apologise. And overall, I think that it helps you to decide whether or not you want to believe that. So Timeless Child is one of those things where people have their opinions, but if you want to believe it, you can do. I personally loved The Timeless Child, but they gave us John Martin, so I'm not going to argue with that one. Not going to argue with that one because John Martin is a brilliant addition to, so I'm not going to argue with that one at all. But what I will say before we wrap up is that it makes no sense now. Now we've got the information. Riversong's regeneration powers make no sense unless something else happened during the time that Amy and Rory were on board the TARDIS. But who knows? Big Finish might, the books might, the annual might, and the magazine might. Who knows? Bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel